Hey guys, I just want to share this with you from our coffee area at the church. And you recognize these pictures behind me. Actually, several years ago, we put these up. Stephanie Hadden had them printed for us, and I made the boards back there, and we got it up and it looked nice. But I want you to know it was never intended to just be decoration. It was intended to focus us and draw our attention to the fact that we are a people on mission. And our mission is to bring the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, to the whole world. And so that's why we put verses up there about the harvest and about reaching the world. And we put a map of the whole world up there because that's our mission. That's what we're about. That's who we are. You know, I read a story recently that it was so fantastic to me, so crazy to me that I really questioned whether it was true. And so I decided not to trust the source I read it from, and I researched the story, and I found out that this is a legit story. You can find it in the New York Times in January 1930. You can also find it in a book by Milo Kaufman called Servant of God. But it's about a naval conference that was going to take place in London in 1930. Several of the naval powers at the time had gathered together, including the United States and Japan. And King George V was going to deliver a message, the opening address to this conference. And so it was going to be carried on radio there in Great Britain, but people in America wanted to hear it too. And so a company called the Columbia Broadcast Company, or CBS, they were going to receive the broadcast from London and then send it out all over America. The problem was right before the broadcast, they had technical issues. I could tell you a lot about technical issues, so I really understand. But right before the broadcast, a young man noticed that there was a broken wire. He recognized that there wasn't time to call in a repairman to fix it, so he came up with the best solution he could. He took one end of the wire in one hand, the other end of the wire in his other hand, and he completed the circuit. For 15 to 20 minutes, that young audio engineer received in his body 250 volts of electricity. It made his arms twitch. It burned his hands. But he did it because he believed that the message of the king was so important, it needed to go out. Wow. Isn't that a word for our time? Have you noticed that the world is broken? That people are hurting and confused and afraid? If there was ever a time that the message of the king needed to go out, it's now. But guess who has to step up and complete the circuit? God is calling you and I to step up, stand in the gap, complete the circuit so that his message can still go out to the world. The problem is, it might be painful. It might be inconvenient. The truth is, right now, many of us are so focused on our own needs, things that we have to do to secure our own supplies, our own world, our own family. It's so easy to forget that actually right now is a great time for the gospel to go out, but only if we're willing to complete the circuit and stand in the gap. So the verse behind me says, he said to them, "Go into all the world, preach the gospel to all creation." Mark 16:15. It's not decoration, guys. It's who we are. Be a good neighbor. Be a good friend. Be a good carrier and conduit of the message of Jesus Christ however you can. I love you guys.